to have a relationship with the Son of God in his life. But he was valued as somebody who should be chained and pushed off. So things can radically change in the world if we can realize that we need to pay attention to what demonic activity is going on and what it is causing. And merely taking them out of the scene can totally change a life. Be praying about demons, be searching for them, be helping people who are oppressed by them, who are involved with them, and ourselves, be cleansing ourselves, because there is such potential, incredible potential, if we can rid ourselves of them. So that's definitely one thing you want to do in that period after salvation, is be looking for where they may be involved, and the Word is filled with evidence of them. Christ dealt with them all the time, and the way that he overcame them was by authority. It's always by authority. It's always who's talking to who is serving who. It's always by authority that demons are able to have their way in your life. It's 100% by authority. When we looked at the demon who left their home, their person, and went off to find 7 other demons more wicked than itself. Anybody remember where that story is in the Word? We need to take a quick look at that here. Anybody remember where that is? All of these stories should be at hand for you, and you can spend, you can put a lot of effort into them. There is quite a bit of information, as you saw from the story of the fellow in the Gadarenes today. There is so much information in them about what demons cause and how they change lives. Anybody remember where that portion of Scripture is?
Matthew 12:45. Then goeth he and taketh with him 7 other spirits more evil than himself, and they enter in and dwell there, and they last. And the last state of the man becometh worse than the first, even so shall it be also unto this evil generation.
Okay, very good. All right, so looking at this story, when the demon comes out, if you will notice, there is no change in the person. He returns to his home, the person, and evaluates the situation there, and he sees that they are not seeking help. They are not attempting to change or alter what is going on. They are totally oblivious to the fact that the devil was there, that the devil left, that the demon was observing them and evaluating them. All of this is going on, and I believe the primary reason is because we are unspiritual as a people. We're not spiritual people, and so we are not used to looking in the spiritual dimension at all, to sense things, even though we spend a huge portion of our life in school, and we're exchanging ideas which all occur on a spiritual level. We're exchanging concepts. We're using words that are formed in our heart. And so it's all, even though we live because we are spiritual creatures and we form our government and our schools and our families fully with the use of our spiritual being, we don't see it to the point where we can see it like a third person, where we can evaluate it and determine what's going on spiritually with demons. We just don't have that practice. We haven't built up our spiritual faculties to begin to look in that domain and see what is going on there. And so that because we don't have any concept of that realm, we don't have any beliefs in it. We don't have any intent or plans consistent with those beliefs. So there's a lot of work to do. Even though we don't have that, when we form our churches by a system called denomination. So we belong to a lot of different churches. It's the same concept in that we don't see the spiritual domain behind the churches. They turn into social events, and we talk about how the pews are arranged and whether they're padded, and who's giving away food this week, and who's involved in India setting up churches. I mean, we talk about it as though it's a very worldly organization. We build physical structures to reinforce that so that we can see them. And then we compare them. And we go to them. We give directions to our churches by an address and a physical structure rather than whether or not they are preaching the truth there and increasing our spirituality. So we even handle religion with very little spiritual harmony at all. We just don't look into it. So we're trying to change that here, and so if we're going to be looking at demons and whether or not they are able to manipulate our core and they can see things there and know about us inside, that's a very progressive, very deep insight spiritually, and that's probably why the question came up last week. And people are unsettled about that. You have no peace about it because you want to know the things that the Word actually affords us. And if you would go to the Word, you would learn. The Word has plenty of information about how demons function, and how they. That demon who left its home that we just read about and returned, what was that portion of Scripture again?
Matthew 12.
Matthew 12. See that? Yeah, see that kind of information should be in the front of our minds as we go about our life. When you go to the store, when you go to church, when you deal with your children, when you talk to your spouses. I mean, that information needs to be in the forefront of your mind, because this person in this in this story is ambiguous. They're not labeled as a chief priest or a some name of a person, somebody's son or daughter. They're just a person, and the ambiguity is on purpose because it could be anyone anywhere who you're talking to. Could be under demonic possession, could be under surveillance, could be getting evaluated, could be just short of having 7 other demons coming and they know nothing about it. They can't discern it because they don't have spiritual faculties. They're not paying attention. They're not focused. But you can be. I'm sure that every day when I pray about demons with people, I am sure that the majority of those people, I pray about government officials and people involved with AI and all kinds of people involved with demons and demonic activity. I know it's present. I've seen it. I have used the word. You hold the word up. Paul says, like a pattern, you hold it up for the world and you look through that pattern at the world and you can know there are things going on, spiritual things, spiritual emphasis, spiritual power is active, and you could pray. There's so much to pray about, but I'm sure that the people involved know nothing about my prayer. They don't know me. They don't know that I'm praying. Just like God is very busy in their lives, but they don't know possibly anything about it. But still, their lives are being altered. God is preserving them. He is bringing people in and out of their lives. He still selected their parents and the places where they should live, Acts 17 says. And they exist within his being. So there is a lot of activity going on between people and God who have no concept of him. No honor.
What bothers me, Jim, is that like the church that my daughter and granddaughters go to, and I've been going with them, but I get nothing out of it because I don't believe that they do the gospel, but they teach, one of the pastors is gay. They're not living the word. And I go in there and I feel like I'm not getting filled because I don't know, there's something missing in there, even though they're a church.
It's missing, what's missing is you and what you know and what you have. And so when you go, your vision, while you're there, you can pray easily pray, okay? Ask for grace, ask for direction and purpose for being there. I have visited many churches, and all I did is visit for years. And you go and visit a church, you just go down a list, make a list of the more popular ones, the bigger ones, or make a list of the smaller ones. It doesn't matter. You go and you slide down the pew and sit next to somebody. Go early so that you won't be disturbing some things. If you go in some churches, like Catholic churches, you have to be quiet. It's difficult. It's more difficult to do that in Catholic. I've been told to be quiet or leave. So, but you can. It's still possible. You just have to, you go in, you slide down in the pew next to them, and you say a prayer. God, is this the person? And, am I here for them today? Part of the service. You don't have to be there expecting to grow in knowledge or wisdom of the scriptures from the church, Most of the places you will go to in your life, that does not happen. It doesn't happen. So why take yourself out of the place where it should be happening? Go there and say, why do you come here? Why is this your favorite? You come here all the time, you know, and you're going to get things like, my father makes me come here, or this church is close to our house, or my family's always gone into this denomination. Or, I mean, you won't believe how many things that'll come up. It's extraordinary how many will come up, have nothing to do with the church. It has nothing to do with it. And so the thing of it is that you've got to end that. You've got to go there, tell them why you're there. Tell them why you're excited, what your hope is. You know, hang around after, chat. I mean, I did that as a mission for years, and you will learn so much. I could tell you where you learn more, though, is put your time in the Word. Just like we have today, we looked at several sections dealing with demons, and look at how much information is there. It's incredible. You don't need permission to pray about a person's demons. The demon will know you are praying about them. They will know. I have prayed about people in public places who were obviously under demonic influence, and I prayed for them, and I've had the person literally turn, being way far away from me, turn and look directly in my eyes because I was praying for them about their spirit. The demons know. They know. Their clarity is far different than ours because that is their domain. That's their natural domain, the spiritual realm. We also have the capacity to navigate there. We can have wisdom and understanding there. We can do incredible things there. All our gifts are done via that realm. Our marriages are based on that realm. How we raise our children are based on that realm. But for some reason, we don't pay any attention to the mechanics and the powers and how that realm functions. And that's what I have pretty much been doing for 30 years now, is spiritual mechanics. And there is so much to learn and so much valuable information there. My daughter and I talked for half an hour today. All that we talked about were spiritual mechanics, what she's doing, what I'm doing, what's going on in our lives, things we were planning to do, and we did nothing but talk about the mechanics spiritually of those events. You can have conversations that are purely spiritual. You can practice that. When you sit down at church visiting like that, you're literally bringing that person into a domain, a realm that they never conceived. They can't see it. Even though it is a dimension built into them by God, they have the ability to see the dimension. They don't see it. They're inundated, and we talked about this before. They're inundated by the input from the world. Okay? The sensory input is overpowering them. Okay? What they smell, what they see, what they taste, you know, it's just overpowering them. And then if that's not enough, the schooling has been pressing them to be cognizant, mentally using their mental powers, okay, all the time. And there's no focus on on the conscience and the heart in these situations. It's all by what you can think and do, and how organically healthy your brain is, and how you're tied into your corporeal faculties, and that's what we're driven by, and that's why Christ comes and he severs those. He circumcises us, cuts us away from the world, and then he's available to rule there. We've looked at this many times before. And so this is all spiritual information. It's all spiritual based activity, intent. And this is vital to a believer. This is where we live. We live in the spiritual realm. We're alive there. Our new creature is a spiritual creature. And so, anyways, so have these demonic events be in the forefront of your mind. There are so many instances in the Word. They're there because they're critical to have in the forefront of your mind, and be thinking about traps or influence, or not just for you, but the person you're meeting. We talked a few months ago about praying before you go anywhere, praying about the people in the next room before you meet them, the situation there. Is somebody hurt? Is somebody crying? Is there an argument going on? Is there a domestic spout, or a crisis over money, or whatever it is? How may demons be involved? Pray for insight. Pray about the situation before you go into the room and begin to be involved with those people. Pray to have peace, so that when you go in there, you'll have that. Peace is a major item for evaluation of your condition with demons, because the peace that they offer is very different. It's peace from the world input. It's peace because of the function of the world, the way the world is set up. And our peace, the peace we have with God, is an unsearchable peace. It deals with us entirely different than